everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on this look right here for you, and I'm so excited to be filming this video today because I used the Lorac Cosmetics Beauty and the Beast Edition eyeshadow palette. This is throwing my lighting off, but can we just take a moment to appreciate just how stunning and beautiful this packaging is. It has the rose from Beauty and the Beast. It says tale as old as time on the front, super cute, and it literally looks like a book. And it has this little tab here. It's just magnetic and it opens up and there are the shades. Super beautiful. I really incorporated just the mauve purples and this pretty silvery-ish shade on the lid, and then it has the mirror over here from the movie, which I thought was so cute, and I saw this and I just had to get it, you know. It's Lorac Cosmetics, so the quality is definitely there in the shadows. Super blendable, creamy, pigmented, really nice. And if you love Disney, like how could you not? How could you not get this palette? You know what I'm saying? It is sold out on Lorac's website. I do know that. I got this from Ulta's website, so I'm pretty sure they still have it. I will link it down below on Lorac's website and Ulta as well. So if it is sold out on one or the other, hopefully you can still find it. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this look. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, don't forget to subscribe before you go. Go ahead and hit the button right now if you haven't already. And if you'd like to see how I got this look, then just keep watching. Alright guys, so we're zoomed up. We can go ahead and start on the eyes. I did already prime my lids, so we can go ahead and set them. I'm going to set them using this shade right here. This is the shade Chip In from the palette. Just going to grab a little flat brush and just pack that all over to the lid, in the crease, and up into the brow bone. Setting your lids with a powder is very important because if you don't, you will have a much harder time blending out your shadows because it's much easier to blend a powder on top of a powder than a powder on top of a cream. Now for our first transition shade, I'm going to go in with this transition shade right here. It's just a nice mauve purple. This is in the shade TikTok. And their names for these shadows are so cute. It's another reason why I just love it so much because it's just so adorable. I'm going to go in with this fluffy brush right here. It's just a blending brush from the Morphe Copper Dream set. So I'm going to dip into that mauve purple shade. I'm going to put that right into the crease. And this brush isn't a huge fluffy brush. It's just a good blending brush to get it in a little more precise of an area than just blowing the product out everywhere. But I am going to blend in circular motions upward when there is less product on my brush. I usually do that for most looks because I feel like that is what's going to give me the most seamless blend at the end. Now that I have that first transition shade down, I'm going to go in with this deeper, darker purple. This is the shade Impress. I'm just going to grab that on my Morphe M433 brush. I'm just going to pack that into the inner corner and a little bit into the outer crease as well. But I'm going to keep this shade lower than I kept that first mauve purple shade. So now that I have that packed into the inner corner, I'm going to pick up my Morphe M518 blending brush, and I'm going to go back in with that first shade, that light mauve purple, and I'm going to put it kind of back into the crease just to make sure that everything is nice and blended with no harsh lines at all. And the only thing I was upset about this palette was, I mean the palette's beautiful, don't get me wrong, like I love it, but the only thing I wish that it would have had was a matte black shade, because I feel like every single palette should have a matte black because it's just such an essential shade for most looks. Well, maybe not most looks, but at least most smoky eyes, which is what I'm doing today. So I just wish that it had that matte black. I feel like it could have maybe switched out one of these colors for a matte black and it would have been just a beautiful, even more beautiful palette than it already was. Alright, so I'm going to go in with this matte black shade right here. This is the shade Corrupt and it's by Makeup Geek. I'm just going to grab that on a little pencil brush. This is just from the Morphe Copper Dream set as well, and I'm going to dab a little bit of that, and I'm going to, first I'm going to put it lightly into the crease here. And I'm just going to make a little V out of it almost. And I'm adding the black because I just want that extra depth for this smoky eye that I just can't seem to get with just the purple. So this is going to help to add extra, it's going to help to add the extra depth and the extra definition and make it look extra smoky. So once I do the V, I'm going to just kind of drag it down a little bit from where I put it. And I'm not putting any extra product on my brush when I do this. I'm not going to go in with a lot of black anytime I use black. A black shadow can get messy really quick, so we don't want it to look scary. So go in with a light hand and then add more if you need to. So I'm going to go back in with that first blending brush we used, and I'm with no additional product on it, and I'm just going to grab that black and blend it back and forth here, just so it's blended and it doesn't just abruptly stop in the middle of the crease. And I'm actually just going to stop right there with the black because I'm going to finish it up later after we do our liner. Alright, so now I'm going to go back in with that light purple once again with that fluffy brush with just a little bit, not a lot, just a nice light hand, and go back over this top part here, just the top of the crease, just to make sure once again that everything is nice and blended. So now for our lid shade, I'm first going to apply a little bit of hydrocortisone to the eyes here. And what this is going to do is make sure that whatever shimmer shade that we apply goes on more intense and almost like a metallic effect. So I'm just going to pick up a flat little brush here from Tweezerman, and I'm going to dip into this shade right here. This is the shade Timekeeper. This shade, I really like it. It's almost like a silver type shade, but it has some reflex in it, and it's really, really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and pack that onto the lid. Pretty. I'm just gonna pack it maybe about halfway and stop it right there. Okay, so since we have that kind of sharp line in the middle there, I'm going to grab just that little first fluffy brush once again that we used, put just a tiny bit of that dark purple on it, and I'm just gonna wiggle it in between those two lines there, just to give it more of a nice seamless blend instead of just an abrupt stop of shimmer shadow. And today I am going to wing out my liner. I'm going to use my Eyeshadow blended liquid eyeliner in the shade Black, and I'm just going to do a wing. Okay, so now that I am done with liner, I'm going to go ahead and touch up a little bit of that black shadow. So I'm going to pick up that pencil brush again and add a little bit more of that shadow. Just a little bit more, and I'm just going to go where my wing is, right where the black touches the wing, and I'm going to just deepen it up a little bit more. I'm going to drag it in a little bit as well. I'm just going to blend it out with this little pencil brush. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and curl my lashes and apply some mascara real quick so that we can get ready to apply our falsies. And I'm just applying my L'Oreal Original Voluminous Mascara. Okay, so I did go ahead and also apply my lashes off camera, so we can go ahead and start with the face. So today for primer, I'm just going to go in with my Benefit Professional Primer right here, and I'm just going to put this in the places that I have larger pores, which is my cheek area, so I'm going to focus it mainly there. And when I apply this, it's a thicker consistency, so how I apply it is I just tap it in first. I tap it in to the skin everywhere where I have my larger pores, and then once most of it is tapped in, I lightly rub it over the skin, just so it's not this thick product on top of my skin. Okay, so now for foundation, I'm actually going to try something kind of new. I don't know if it's new to the beauty world, but it's new to me. I'd heard a couple good things about it, and I actually just tried it out yesterday, and I really like it. This is from LA Girl Cosmetics, the Pro Coverage HD High Definition Long Wearing Illuminating Foundation. So I'm just gonna, it comes in a nice pump bottle, and I just pumped a little bit on my brush. I'm gonna go ahead and press this into the skin, and I love the way this looks, so that's a lot. I used it yesterday, like I said, for the first time, and it's really, really nice. I ordered it off of Ulta, and super affordable. I think it was $7.99, so that's awesome as well. And just a little side note, HD foundations are the foundations that you're going to want to wear if you're going to be photographed a lot, if you're, you know, taking family pictures or a wedding, or if you're in a wedding or you're getting married, whatever. HD foundations are the way to go because they look really beautiful photographed. There's no flashback or anything like that with HD foundations. They always just look really nicely on camera. Okay, so for concealer, I actually bought the concealer that was in the same collection as this foundation I just used. It's the LA Girl Cosmetics Pro Conceal High Definition Concealer. So I used this yesterday as well, and I actually really like this too. I don't really care for the applicator that much. It's just this little, it's a squeezy tube, and you squeeze it into this little brush. I'm just going to blend that out with my Morphe E8 brush. Okay, so today, now to set my concealer, I'm going to go in with my Morphe E4 brush. I'm actually going to use my Laura Mercier powder today. Normally I use my RCMA No Color powder, but I feel like it will lighten up my face too much, and since this concealer basically did that job for me already, I don't really need that. If anything, I might want it to be a little bit darker. I don't know. So I'm just going to use this Laura Mercier powder, and I'm not going to use a lot. Just enough to do the job and set it. And I'm actually just going to go ahead and use my Laura Mercier powder to set the rest of my face as well. Okay, so now to bronze the skin up. Today I'm going to be using my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This stuff smells amazing, so good. Just going to use my Morphe R2 brush to do this. I'm not going to contour today, I'm just going to bronze up the skin really nicely, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Ooh. Ooh. Too much. Just going to go in with this little fluffy brush to help blend that out a little bit. I'm just going to go back in with that brush that I set my under eyes with, and I'm going to just tap the edges of the bronzer with no additional product, not adding any more product to this. And this is just going to help blend it in better with the rest of the skin here, instead of it just being this crazy mess that I just did. Alright, so now to finish up the eyes, I'm going to grab just a big pencil brush. This is the Morphe E18, and I'm going to go in with that first shade that we used in the crease, that light mauve purple, the shade TikTok, and I'm going to just smoke that out all over the lower lash line, and I'm going to really smoke my look out today because that's the look that I'm going for, obviously. So I'm going to bring it down pretty low. So now I'm just going to grab this little detail brush here. This is the Morphe M432. I'm going to grab that darker purple that we've been using, the shade Impress, and I'm going to stamp that on the lower lash line, and I'm going to stamp it all the way from the outer corner to the inner corner. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of a smaller pencil brush to blend that out. This is the Morphe E36. I'm just going to grab that same detail brush and pick up a little bit of that black shade that we've been using, and I'm going to stamp that on the outer corner, just about 30% of the way in. And now I'm going to grab that same little pencil brush that we just used, and I'm just going to blend that out as well. Alright, so now I'm just going to line my waterline with some black liner. This is the Marc Jacobs Highliner in the shade Black. gonna do is I'm gonna line it a little bit all the way into this inner corner here as well to kind of give us more of a cat eye effect. But can you tell the difference between having a lined waterline and not? It just amps up the look that much more. Alright, so now I'm going to grab that big pencil brush once more, that E18. I'm going to pick up a little bit more of that very light shade purple, the shade TikTok that we've been using, and I'm just going to blend out once more. Maybe bring it down just even a tad bit more. Okay, now I'm going to coat the lower lashes with mascara, and I'm just going to use that same L'Oreal Original Voluminous Mascara that I used on my top lashes. Okay, so obviously this look is so beautiful the way that it is, but I'm going to amp it up just that much more. I'm going to go in with the Kat Von D Alchemist palette, and this palette, there are no words to explain this palette because it is stunning. And then there are these 4 shades. I think on camera and even in person they all almost look the same. They all look white almost. They're all different colors. I think there's a blue, green, purple, and pink, and they are all like this iridescent, beautiful highlight. So I'm gonna swatch a couple just so you can see just seriously how amazing these are. Okay, so that is them. Obviously, you got the purple, blue, green, and pink. Like how stunning are these? These are so beautiful, and this was just such a genius palette. The packaging is so cute, and it's just, what is there not to enjoy about this palette? Pick out this little itty bitty detail brush right here. This is from Morphe as well as the M213, and I'm going to pick up this purple one. It's called Amethyst, so I'm going to pick that up, and I'm going to put it into the inner corner of the eye for just a pop of color. And I'm going to zoom you in so you can see even more just how beautiful this shade is. If you like, wow. Is that not gorgeous? That is absolutely stunning. Oh my gosh. We can go ahead and highlight brow bone. I don't want to do some super fancy highlight. I'm just going to do a little something to clean it up and just to lighten it a little bit. I'm not going to do anything sparkly or anything like that because I don't want to take away from the smoky look or from this inner corner highlight. So I'm going to dip into that first shade we used to pack on to the lid, just that nice little cream shade. Just going to use this little pencil brush. This is from Urban Decay. I'm just going to dip into that. It's just gonna look neater, and of course this is going to help lift that brow a little bit. So now to add a little bit of highlight to the face, I'm just gonna grab this highlighting brush from Morphe from the Copper Dream set. I'm gonna pick up this highlight from Ofra Cosmetics. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know what it's called, but all the products that I use I will list down below so you can find it there. Just, oh wow, that's a highlight right there. I didn't want anything that bright. Didn't want anything super crazy, but you know, what are you gonna do? Like the nose as well. I'm going to go ahead and do the lips. I'm going to go in with the Too Faced Melted Matte Liquid Lipstick, and this is the shade Child Star. This is just a really nice, beautiful, light pinky nude. And to go over top of that, I'm going to put on my NYX Butter Gloss, and this is in the shade Creme Brulee. And now to make sure this look doesn't go anywhere throughout the day, I'm going to grab my favorite setting spray. This is the Morphe Prep and Set Spray. On top of this being just amazing, the sprayer itself is so nice. It's an aerosol can, which sounds weird, and I thought it was going to be weird too, but it's not, okay? It just distributes the product so nicely everywhere I want it. It's like a mist. It's like a nice mist instead of having a sprayer that just goes right into your face where you don't want it and it like separates your makeup. This is perfect. It's absolutely amazing. Your makeup's not going anywhere. Everything's sinking in together into one, so it's just gonna look flawless. And on top of that, it smells really nice. Okay, and this is the finished look right here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, you guys. I really enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any comments or questions, make sure that you put them down below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you go, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!